Who are you?
N.O.R.E.
N.O.R.E!
Make some noise.
Make some noise! From Miami, Florida, but via Queens.
Yes. I'm from Queens, New York, Lafayette City.
Right off the bat, N.O.R.E, I have a gift for you, a Granddaddy IU record.
Oh, damn, you know your shit. Damn.
What can you say to the people?
Is this the album or this is the single?
This is the single.
Oh, okay.
What can you say to the people about Granddaddy IU and N.O.R.E?
This is my favorite MC, man. He it's a single-handedly one line that changed my life. When I heard him say it, he said, I knew a girl named Kenya from West Virginia. Boy, would I like to stick something in her. And from that moment on, I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be an MC. So this is dope. This is for me?
That's for you.
Oh, okay.
To keep.
Yes. I'm framing that. You know his shit. I already know. When you see a Nardwuar interview, you already know.
Apartment 5E.
God damn it, that's right. Yeah,
John on the second floor.
Oh, John on the second floor. Okay, Yep.
Money bags on the 14th floor.
On the 14th floor. God damn it. Yes, that's a fact. That is a fact. You're right. You're correct.
Now, N.O.R.E, you're from Queens.
Yes.
Can you help me out understanding this person right here from Queens, Sweet Tea?
Okay.
What can you say about Sweet Tea from Queens?
Sweet Tea, she was hard. She's a little before my era. Like when she came out, she's in the 80s, right? Yeah, it's 88 and stuff like that. I was born in 77, so it's a little bit before my time, but yeah, definitely she's a Queens legend. Yeah.
Who else do we have in the house right now, N.O.R.E?
I have DJ EFN actually bought me. I'm with him. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And who else is in the house right now with you?
That's my boy Boris and my boy N.O.R.E. You know what I mean?
And you are N.O.R.E?
And I'm N.O.R.E, man. Yes.
Did Biggie and Jay take your girl at Club Esso?
No, that is for Biggie and Jay did take my friend's girls. My friend WAP. I can remember this like it was yesterday. I remember him and I forget who he was with, and I could just remember them just like being the flossiest dudes, and I just remember Jay and Big walking in, and no one had a chance. So their girls left with Jay and Big. That is a fact.
The Uptown Comedy Club on First.
Yes, my very first show I ever had. This motherfucker. Yeah, the very first show I ever had was the Uptown Comedy Club. Yeah, it was probably the most terrible show I ever had as well, too.
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, that was the only white girl I was ever like really into. Yes, it's just.
You still?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been scarred since I seen the sex tape. I was like, nah, Pamela Anderson. She's no more. But I used to like her. Yeah, yes.
But you are N.O.R.E, and Big L said you changed the game. Big L said you changed the game.
You know what's crazy? I never saw that Big L footage until he passed. So for me to see that, it was crazy because I never knew he felt like that. But you're right. He did say N.O.R.E changed the game. N.O.R.E showed me how to like maintain in the game, and I had no idea. Like the crazy shit is, like I said, that footage would have meant. So I wish I would have saw that footage when he was alive, so I can tell him how much I appreciated a compliment like that coming from him. But yeah, he did say that. So yo, Big L, thank you, man, for even recognizing. Because I don't expect to be recognized. So. Yeah, but that's a fact. You're right.
Now, speaking of Pamela Anderson, Lior gave you $100,000 for your wedding?
Yes, that's my first wedding. I had actually lost weight because I was like 300 pounds, and
what happened?
I just lost weight.
Lean?
Yeah, lean. Gee, I did lean once, but let me get back to that. I did lean twice. I did lean.
You were an early adopter of lean, weren't you? In the studio.
You know why? 8 Ball and MJG was the first people. They wasn't even calling it lean. They was calling it scissor or something like that. Yeah, but Leo Combs did give me $100,000 because he didn't think I could do it, and I wound up doing it. Yep.
And you also met Oprah in Hawaii?
Well, I didn't meet Oprah.
What was that like, N.O.R.E versus Oprah?
Well, here's the deal. I didn't
make some noise.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, right? I didn't meet Oprah. This is what happened. I had a suite in Hawaii, and the people kept calling me and saying, "Yo, the people upstairs are complaining about the smoke." So I was like, "Well, how much more did they pay for their room than mine?" And they was like, they paid the same amount of price. So I was like, "Fuck them." So come to find out, the person who they was talking about was Oprah. And that was just amazing. Like, I didn't get to see her, but I didn't get to meet her, but I knew the person staying upstairs from me was Oprah, so that was dope, yeah.
Speaking of noise and drink champs, let's bring over EFN right now. Who is EFN? Who is EFN?
EFN is a world famous Miami legend, mixtape legend, DJ legend, and we come together and we we form a phenomenal duo called the Drink Champs. We're having fun doing it. We make it and closing new deals. And he's when I think of EFN, I think of the purest form of hip hop. Like I still to this day won't see him DJ because he don't like that Serato shit. He wants to do vinyl. He still wants to carry crates. He's the purest form of hip hop. He's stubborn as shit, but that's what makes him dope. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think of when I think of EFN.
And EFN, what can you say about N.O.R.E?
This guy is a legend. He was a legend when I met him. He's a legend to this day. He's one of the most creative motherfuckers I know. One of the funniest motherfuckers. He should be a comedian on his own.
Yeah.
And you know, I wouldn't want any other partner in Drink Champs than with him.
And I have a gift for you right here, 1241, which is KRS-One's first appearance ever on Wax.
For me?
That's for you, a gift for you.
No, I love this. This is dope.
With Scott LaRock.
Records, yo.
Before Boogie Down Productions?
Exactly.
Yeah. This
It's his first appearance on Wax, 1241.
is dope. This is dope. Very dope. Thank you very much.
But you are quite accommodating to having legends in your car. Like Exhibit was in your car.
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, Hoodstock was a concert out here. This is before Rolling Louds or anything was coming to Miami. We had Hoodstock and Exhibit. You know, he couldn't find it because it was in the hood. So we took him there, and he jumped in the truck of my Pathfinder.
You were edited out of an OJ picture?
Yeah, man. Either I'm edited out or I was high and I don't smoke, so I don't know. I was edited out of the picture.
What happened there?
Oh, I don't know. I definitely didn't take the picture. I was in the picture with OJ. It was crazy. We was in Fort Myers, I believe.
Fort Myers and OJ was hosting.
And we didn't know he was hosting until we actually got there. And when we got there, I remember Def Jam, because they had like insurance on me or something. They were flipping. They were like, "What are you doing? You can't stand next to OJ." And so we were really like literally scared to stand next to OJ on stage. When it's crazy because it was the exact opposite. As soon as he came out, you would think like the white people would throw soda cans at him, but the white people went crazy. They loved the juice. So I was like, you know what I mean? But I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. The whole time I was like this, like standing next to OJ until the crowd, you know, showed him love. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then the juice did invite me to go golfing with him the next day, and I did. All right.
And what happened on the internet?
Well, everyone went crazy because, you know, we
They saw a picture.
they saw a picture of us in the juice. You know, and
But unfortunately,
I got edited out of the picture. They cropped me out.
what happened there?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But it was fun meeting OJ, and we kept playing with him. We was like, "Yo, Murder Unit," and he was like, "Word," and it was like,
Murder Unit.
it was like, yeah. So yeah, that was funny.
A lot of people call you DJ Effin.
Terrible. Terrible.
Have you heard EFN described as Effin?
Yeah. I went through a whole conversation with somebody one time, and he kept saying effing, and I had no idea who he was talking about. I thought he was talking about the vodka, and I just kept talking, and I didn't realize that at the end of the conversation, I was like, oh, you're saying EFN. He's like, oh yeah, my bad. I always say effing, and I was like, so yeah, people mess his name up all the time.
And thank you, Godfrey.
Yeah, Godfrey. That was the guy who
Brought
champs to CBS, right?
Oh, Godfrey. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Gamer Tag Radio. Yeah, I just didn't think that he would bust out with Godfrey's name.
Godfrey.
EFN fall asleep ever?
No.
On any interviews, come on. On any interviews. Has N.O.R.E ever fallen?
One he did fall asleep.
I've never fallen asleep. Hazardous Sounds falls asleep.
Yeah, you're right. But one, I forgot which one. Was it the PD Cracker one?
No, I left. Yeah, I left and went to sleep.
Yeah.
What about Eddie the Ass Eater?
Eddie the Ass Eater. That is our boy. Eddie the Ass Eater.
He fall asleep.
No, he
On that ass.
I seen Eddie fall asleep standing up, so he's like a different, like he's a different dude. Like the only person I seen that's worse than Eddie is a guy named Leroy from Left Rack, and Leroy he fell asleep on the basketball court standing up. I had never seen nothing like this. I'm talking about a loud, noisy ass basketball court, full court too, like in the hood too, like all that shit. And he stood there and fell asleep. I said, this guy's the worst.
Good balance.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, definitely. I guess you could say that.
Well, thank you very much, EFN, and Doot.
Doot.
Did Chaz cause LA?
Okay, yes. What it is how how LA was discovered was Chaz was on something called a DJ list, and then back in the days, you remember before the bootleggers, DJs used to get the records 2 months in advance. So what happened was that's the reason why when New York record came out, we had LA the same exact day, is because he had what was called a DJ list. So when I woke up in the morning and headed to Stretch Armstrong's studio, he played me what was soon to be New York. So he asked me, "You think that they diss in New York?" So I couldn't tell. We left. We went to Stretch Armstrong's studio, Mobb Deep, and tragically later went there. I forget if I went to Queensbridge and we all went together. But anyway, we all winded up there, and I did the same thing Chaz did to me. I said to Mobb Deep and Trag and Stretch Armstrong, I asked Stretch Armstrong, was he on a DJ list? Obviously, he was Stretch Armstrong, so of course he was. And we played New York, and that's when we made the decision that we was going to make the response. And if you notice, none of us actually dissed LA on that record because we didn't know if they was dissing us or not. Because until Snoop kicked down the buildings, that's when our video became. But if you look at it, other than Prodigy saying JFK on our way to LA, we didn't even mention LA at all. If you listen to that first version of LA, the only thing why you think that we dissed them was because on the video we wanted to respond to Snoop kicking down the building. So yes, Chaz was the very first person. I was long-winded, but you are absolutely correct.
And Stretch Armstrong's parents paid for the record?
Yeah, Stretch Armstrong, from what I heard, I was just the artist at the time. They wanted to white label it and they wanted to get it out there. And so Stretch Armstrong's parents, I guess he went to his parents for a loan or something, and they said yeah. And I don't understand because Stretch is he's an older white guy, so he's going to his parents talking about I want to make an investment, and they're probably like, in what? And they're like, in this group called Capone and Noriega. I could imagine how awkward that conversation was. But big him up, big up the Stretch parents. We still owe you. Thank you for doing that, and big up the Stretch for for even having that foresight. So yep.
This record responds to the Tim Dog era, and this record actually is Fuck the South Bronx. This is Compton by Tweety Bird Locke in 1992.
Wow, yeah, I've heard of this. I've never actually seen.
Sorry about spitting on you.
Yeah, you definitely were. I got you though. I got you though. It happens, man. You're worth it. All right, God damn it.
Thank you.
All right. But I've heard of.
No diseases.
I've heard of this, but I've never.
What was that era like? Because you followed that era, but what was a Fuck the South Bronx? This is Compton era.
I've never heard this.
What was that feeling like in Queens during that time?
It still hurts. I mean, at the same token, Queens and the Bronx was warring with each other too. Remember the famous KRS-One MC Shan? But I've heard about this. I've never actually knew this exists. I just heard that because Tim Dog, like you said, Tim Dog.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Tim Dog made a record for Compton, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, for Compton
and Fuck the South Bronx. This is Compton.
And then they came back and they. So this is interesting. I've never heard. I've never actually heard the record. I've heard of it, but I've never heard the record.
Make some noise!
Yep.
N.O.R.E, you could not afford Nas for the War Report?
Well, that's what we was told. We were told because Nas did have a verse. We had. That's an easy way to look at it to be positive. Well, a lot of people don't know Busta Rhymes was on the War Report as well. Fat Joe never sent his verse in, but yeah, I believe they wanted $100,000 or he just didn't want to be on the record. I can't remember, but we could not afford that $100,000.
What about that rumor that you couldn't go into the studio unless you had shot someone?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a rumor. Yeah, that's definitely a rumor. I would love to go to the studio. The studio was basically my way of getting away from, the obstacles and the stuff of being in the hood. So I would love to be in the hood, but I mean, what you're trying to say is, like at a time, I had to go through a lot. I had to go through things for me to write rhymes. Like I would actually have to go through, trials and tribulations. So that's what you're alluding to.
What's the importance of a Kodak jar?
A Kodak jar? Oh, I don't know. Oh, you're talking about back in the days, that's what we used to sell crack in. Actually, that's how I met Sherm the Worm. Was he used to come in Left Rack, and he had the big ass like dimes. So we used to take those dimes and break it down, and we'll put it in the Kodak jar. So I thought you was meant Kodak Black. So I saw him the other day and shit. It was very weird. All right.
Why?
Oh, it was. I don't think our energy mixed. I think he's.
Was that the first time you seen him?
Yeah, that was the first time I seen him.
Did he know about Noriega?
I definitely didn't introduce myself. I just said, I want my son to take a picture. He took the picture, and I just basically walked out of there,
How old is your son?
He is 10 years old, yep.
N.O.R.E, have you told your son about the machine guns at the Source Awards?
Oh, well, no, I have not. To answer your question, and it wasn't me who had the machine guns at the Source Awards. It was who had the machine guns at the Source Awards. Do you know?
Capone and AK-47.
Well, it was actually C Murder. It was actually C Murder from he's the one who gave it to us. So yeah, C Murder was a real person. Yeah.
N.O.R.E, what is a Cocker Spaniel?
Well, back in the days, we used to what we was doing was we was naming our guns after dogs because the police was always on us. So we would a pit bull would be a 9, a 4-5 would be a Rottweiler. So a Cocker Spaniel would be a Deuce Deuce. It would be a small dog. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said Neptunes. I got a Cocker Spaniel because I was talking about a gun actually. I was talking about a small gun.
Do you still use air freshener?
Yeah, I love air freshener. I'm a big candle guy. Air freshener, what is it? Labrador, all that shit. I'm into all that. I like all that shit. Yeah.
You were
I got, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
This is Creed though.
You were also a pimp for a week?
It was something like a pimp for a week, yes. Which I realized I did not like. I didn't like it at all, first off. But I was watching these pimp movies, and then Bishop Don Juan had invited me to a players ball, and I went one year. Then I didn't. Then the next year I went, and I really got into it. I really actually dressed up, and I did it. I remember. Like I didn't think I was gonna be successful, so it was one person. I was just like, "Yo, you should choose. You should choose like how the pimps do." And then she said, "Yeah." And then I had nothing to do. I didn't know what to do, so I had to give it to another pimp. But it was definitely not me. But yeah, for a week I tried to be a pimp.
What did you look like exactly?
I was wearing a lot of blue for some reason. For some reason, I was wearing a lot of sky blue, and yeah, it was terrible. It was a bad decision, but again, it was me watching and watching the American Pimps and those movies at the time. So it was just something I tried. And I tremendously failed at it. I wasn't good at it at all.
Vinny's Pizzeria.
Yes, Vinny's Pizzeria. People don't eat there now. I'm disappointed. I go to the hood and I went and ordered a slice and everyone told me not to. They said that I don't know what's going on, but I still grew up on Vinny's and hopefully Vinny come back and take it over. I guess he sold it, but yeah, that's something I grew up on. Six Brothers, King Rogers. So that's something I definitely grew up on.
Stop One Deli?
Stop One Deli, yeah. I still would like a sandwich from there. I gotta say a sandwich with a G. Sandwich.
Are you a vegetarian now?
Hell no. I was a vegetarian. I was vegan actually for like 6 months to like a year, and then I stopped again. I did another year. Right now, I'm a whole month of May. I'm on my pescatarian stuff. I'm only eating fish. But, here and there, I love the vegetarian lifestyle. I love what it represents.
N.O.R.E, winding up here, did you invent slime?
Well, I definitely did not invent the actual word slime, but I was the first one in hip-hop to ever use the word slime as people are using it now, calling your boy slime and calling them. I wanted to stop using the N-word. I wanted a different word, so I started to use slime, and now everyone thinks that Lil Wayne invented it. They think Vado invented it. They think Young Thug invented it. They think everyone else invented it but me. I'm the first person on the record. I think you could go back to 2001 or 2004. It's one of those years where Capone and Noriega, where we say it on the album, the reunion album, where we say the slime. So, I look at my timeline and I see these kids arguing about who made it up, and I watch, you know what I'm saying, because I'm like an idiot. So I watch and I see these guys, and people will give it to Young Thug, and I'll be laughing, and they'll give it to Vado, and they'll even give it to Lil Wayne. And there's very few people who know that was me. And I'm not, I'm not clout chasing. So the people who know, they know. If they don't know, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll see it on here. You know what I mean? Doot.
Winding up here, N.O.R.E, anything else you want to add to the people out there, though?
I want to add that you're one of the dopest interview people. Your energy is. I'm so glad that your energy is like this in real life. I watch all your interviews. I watch how you amaze people. I'm amazed that you know all the stuff about me as well. And I'm just telling you, you do a great job. I've been starving to be on here. Thanks for EFN for hooking this up. And I want to say you're a legend, my guy. We need you on Drink Champs. Do you ever get interviewed?
I would first like to say thank you for the shout out on Hot Wings.
Oh, okay, that's right. Oh, that's right. I did shout you out, bro. I've been recognizing your gangster for some time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
Make some noise!
Yeah. Even my wife knew who you were. I was like, yo, I was Nardwuar, and yeah, so yeah, definitely. So yeah, man.
Thanks for the kind words.
Yes, you're a legend, man. And I love the fact that you dig deep in hip hop, and this is a very unique show that you do, and I hope that all these artists that come on here respect where you come from, because you got to dig deep to know this information. Like this, you sent some information that I had to think like back to 3rd grade and shit. So I love this. You know what I mean? Definitely. Thank you, man, for having me.
Hot Wings, Hot Ones. I love that.
Yes, yeah, Hot Ones.
I guess it's hard to know what the name is when you're eating those wings.
Yeah, man, that was a bad day for me the next day, because I did Hot Ones with Tiger Bone to try to numb the taste, and it did numb the taste. Is
that a secret?
No, I mean it was
Pine?
It was worse because I woke up the next day and I was just shitting hot shit and Tiger Bone at the same time, and it was just like it did get me through the interview though. The interview I got through, I actually survived, but the next day the repercussions of it was not worth it. I was texting Sean Evans like, "You motherfucker!" He was like, "Yo, N.O.R.E, what are you talking about?" I was like, "I'm just mad at you. Like my asshole was mad at you." I'm sorry, that came off wrong, but
Eddie the ass eater.
yeah. So definitely, man, don't do it with the Tiger Bone when you do Hot Ones, man, and you do it, man. But once again, man, thank you for having me, man.
Well, thank you, N.O.R.E. Why should people care about N.O.R.E and Drink Champs?
Well, if you want to, if similar to like the credit we just gave you, if you want to know about hip hop, you want to know about it in a dope way. Like I always would go to class if the teacher was with some type of excitement or something that I could relate to. I would never go to a class if I can't relate to. So if you love hip hop and this is something that you want to base your life on, then that's when you come in and Drink Champs, because we're gonna come in, we're gonna teach you something, we're gonna tell you something about your favorite artist, and not only that, you're gonna see us act stupid and get drunk. You see, in the daytime, this is me in the daytime, and at nighttime, me and EFN is on a totally different wave. But in the daytime, this is balanced. Level spelled backwards is level, which means that sometimes you just gotta, get that good water in you. But in that nighttime, you party, and this is what Drink Champs is. You know what I'm saying? A balance. You know what I mean? And we give you the dopest people in hip hop. We give you legends. We don't interview new people, not because we don't like them, it's because we don't feel that they have a story yet. You have to be in this business at least 10 years or more and have credibility and not be no rat or no clown or no, clout chaser, because we want to respect our legends while they're here and they're alive. And that's why if you ever want to know about N.O.R.E or Drink Champs, that's why. If you ever want to know about N.O.R.E, one of the most creative artists, one of the dudes who discovered some of the dopest producers out there and still discovering them, and that's what it is. So tune in, motherfuckers.
Well, thanks so much.
I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
I felt it like saying that one. That was hard.
That was good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, N.O.R.E. Keep on rocking in a free world and doot.
And listen, y'all got this looking like the hood. This look like the hood right now. He's a legend, man. He's gonna stay here for 30 minutes. He's a legend, man. He's a legend, man. See, if I was prepared, I would have did the same pose, like it just stood there. He's a legend, man. Doot.